everybody. Hey there, Lauren here, Mrs. Tomato Head. Welcome, welcome. If it's your first time tuning in, we're happy to have you. I do a show on Thursdays called Lauren's Tomato Awesomesauce. Hang on, let me get started on Instagram. I always forget to press play. So I do that, and I share like 10-ish varieties that I'm obsessed with each week on Thursdays at this time. So a couple of weeks ago, I decided that I didn't want to take up that show where I often showcase things that either I don't have, things I've just learned about. I wanted to share my grow list for 2025. And my grow list is pretty extensive. I've been trying to get it down to 125, but then these things happen and I'm adding more. Right now it's at like 140 something. So can I do it? Yes. Should I do it? No. And I just added something today because a very kind tomato friend of mine hooked me up with these seeds that look and sound amazing. So this is the way things happen. So I started last Tuesday. Last Tuesday was part 1. And I think we only got to 12 varieties, which is not ideal when you're looking at like 145 at the moment. So I'm going to try to speed things along today. I am going to do 90 minutes instead of an hour, because by the time I'm done, all the way up A through Z, I'll be into like September, which is not really of use for you. I love having everybody joining live. It's your first time. I always do live. Well, not always. On my YouTube channel, which is Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head, I do have some videos up there. I've got some micro dwarf tomato reviews. I've got instructional things like starting seeds, saving seeds, and a couple other things on there too. Some experiments I've done with things like Cozy Coats or Wall of Waters, the season starters. So I don't always do live. I also do live unboxings once in a while. But the reason why I like to come to you live is twofold. One is I hate editing and I'm terrible at editing. So if I do live, I just have to be like, all right, it is what it is. But also I like connecting with all of you. So if you're able to watch live, I try to get as many comments. Ooh, I'm getting all froggy. That's not good when you're going to be talking for 90 minutes. I like interacting with you all. And please, as I'm going through the list, if you have grown something that I'm showcasing before, please tell us in the comments. If it's on your grow list for this year, let us know in the comments. If you've got seeds and you'd like to grow it sometime, put that in the comments too. But I like to share with you all. And it is recorded. So if you miss something, miss a variety or whatever, you can go back and watch. And this time doesn't work for everybody. We're all over the world. I'm an admin, co-admin of the best group on the planet, Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap on Facebook. I do this with Jen Joy and Kina Tonerud from Norway. And but it's really like this, it truly is a collective because the magic comes from all of our members. It's so much more than just getting the seeds, me. It's a lot of giving. It's instructional, educational for everybody, from the person who's never grown from seed before, even if you don't grow from seed. If you get, plants from a friend or at a store, we're all about growing tomatoes. We do showcase both heirloom and hybrid. There's nothing wrong with hybrid. It is not a dirty word in our group. So yeah, we're not snobby and we do have a lot of fun. So please join us if you're not on Facebook. What else? I'm just going to try not to be overly chatty today, just so we can get through more. But for those of you who watch me know that this could be, well, we'll see how it goes. I want to get through a lot because, there's a chance I just started my regular seeds last week. I did dwarf, not even last week, what's today, Tuesday. Rob and I started on Sunday, 2 days ago. Our first, we succession planted. This was our first 60-ish varieties. And then I had done dwarfs the week before. Ideally for me, it's first week of April. I'm in zone 6B in Western New Jersey. And each year I'm like, I really could put this off a week because they get massive. Let me show you something. I think I've got it in. See, this is when I say I'm not going to be overly chatty, That's what I'm talking about. Do I really need to find this thing now? I'll do it. All right, ignore this. Hang on, let me see if I have it. All right, here we go. I want to show you this here. This is not this year. This is last year. These are my seedlings at 7 weeks old. They're crazy. The method that I use, and if you're interested in what method that I use, you can find it on my YouTube channel. I won't get too into it. I then pop from basically solo cups, or I've been using these Bootstrap Farmer new ones that came out last year, 3.3 by 3.3 to be exact. But they do need to be up-potted. I continually add soil up along the stem until they're ready to be planted. We also couldn't plant for a week or two later than we wanted to last year. But anyway, I love these tall and skinny seedling grow bags. So this is 7 weeks old. And every year, the past couple of years, I'm like, we really could put this off another week. And Rob's always like, yep, I know. But then I'm like, we've got to plant. It's an easy trap to fall into. We're certainly not early, but we're going to be away this coming weekend. So I wanted to get at least some of them done. But as you can see, they do really, really well with my method at 7 weeks old. They're like small trees. Is it ideal to plant that size? No, honestly, they all catch up with one another. But this is why I prolong. So first week in April would be ideal, but dwarfs don't go too out of control. They will be fine under my grow lights. And then we'll just deal with the other half and see how it goes. All right, let me get to some comments before I get to tomatoes. Hi, Sherman. Hope you're having an awesome day, too. I saw you commented on this a couple hours ago. Hi, Leslie. You'll have to forgive me. I'm not going to get to every comment today. But I will try to get all of you on at least once if possible, because I appreciate you guys spend the time to be with me here. Hi, Heidi. Glad you're here. Hi, Chef. He starts with test 1 tomato, 2 tomato, 3 tomato, go tomato. I appreciate you all very, very much that you're here. And so I like to make you as much of a part of the show as I am. Hey, Rowena. Is there anything more anticipated than Lauren's grow list? So excited for part 2 and the rest. Yes, I told you in the group that I'm like, I have to concentrate today. Stop going off on tangents like what my seedlings look like at 7 weeks old. That's not part of my grow list. Just trying to prove a point a little bit as to why I wait longer than I used to by weeks. Hi, Nicole. Glad you're here. Mary's here. You guys, all my friends are here. Hi, Linda. Glad you're here. Hi, Amy D. Hello, hello. Sam is here. Hi, Sam. Homegrown in Illinois. She's a vendor. If you haven't checked out her website, it's homegrowninillinois.com, I believe. And she has a lot of unique varieties. Like, I know she's out of stock now, but things like bacon, lettuce, and this, Gary Fitzgerald varieties, you may want to check her out. Manitobaski, hi there. Glad you're here. Satya is here. Hey, Satya. And Kenneth is here. Hello. And Akelia is here. Hello. Tara Dove is here. Hey, Tara Dove. Kim L. Just to not confuse what I'm doing here with my Thursday show, I don't give out prizes on my grow list. But Thursdays I do. For live viewers, we give out CD prizes. So I've got some really good ones for this Thursday. So make sure you tune in. It's the same time as you tuned in here. Just different show. Hey, everyone. Hi, Cynthia. Lisa's here. Listening outside, getting some more beds together. Yay! What a great way to spend the time looking at my grows or listening, even if you can just listen. Hi, Kelly. Just gonna fast forward here. Make sure I've gotten... Oh, Pretty's here. Hi, Pretty. Grow, cook, eat, repeat. Glad you could join us. Karen's here. Hi, Karen. Linda's laughing at me. Haha, not so chatty. I know. I just can't stop myself. I get excited. When I get excited about something, I'm like a cheerleader. It's like, you've got to see this. You've got to see this. So it's difficult for me to not be chatty when it comes to a couple things, but tomatoes for sure. Did I already get you, Naray? Hi, Naray. And Christy's here. Hi, Christy. And my buddy Deb is here. Hi, Deb. Missy's here. Hello. And our friend Harley the Swamp Bitch is here. Hello, Harley. And Yvette, all the way from France. Hi, Yvette. Glad you could join us. Julia Peacock is here. Hey, I am actually getting, when I skim through and just make sure I got everybody once, I get kind of caught up. But that it doesn't last, because next thing I know, I get chatty, and then I'm like 20 minutes behind. Hi, Julia. Glad you're here. Hi, Michael. Glad you're here. And here's one of our three musketeers, Kina, all the way from Norway. Hey, Kina. Glad you're here. You'll recognize probably all of these today. When Kina, Jen, and I, I'm going off on a tangent. Don't do that. But when we have our own chat as far as, dealing with things with the group and running Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, I can't tell you how many days we just start chatting tomatoes. Today has been one of those days. Kina and I like to research, and we're like, oh gosh, look at this one, look at this one. So it really helps to run a group when you're really passionate about something, and running it with Kina and Jen is a gift for sure. I love you, Kina. Hi, Kristen. Glad you're here. And Justin, all the way from down under. Hi, Justin. Oh, Sharon S., first-time viewer here. I'm so excited. You're with your people, Sharon. If you're watching this, you are with your people. I don't know if you're already in the group or not, but if you're not, please join us. We would love to have you. Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap on Facebook. We have another Australian. Barry Giddy. Hi from Australia. Oh, you're welcome, Sam. You're welcome. I saw you. I was on there the other day for something. I was searching for something. Did you redo the website? It looks really, really nice. Heidi lives right by me. I've not planted anything extra since my initial foray into micros in January and herbs. Good girl. Good girl. I'll be hooking you up with plants too. Yeah, I forgot I had started micros a couple of weeks ago too. I almost don't count micros. They're not in my final plant count when I say like 145 or whatever. Micros are a whole different thing. I'm stabilizing. This summer I'm going to be working on 2 of my varieties. I've got several different variants and things like that, but there's 2 I'm really excited about. So I'm going to be growing a lot of each of those, and then a couple new ones from others too. Justin, what are your grow list theme this year? I will tell you, and I think I said this last week, here's what my obsessions are with this year. And those of you who watch me on a regular basis, you will know this. Varieties of Sofia Sakova from Russia. I'm growing, she very kindly sent me some of her rare varieties that aren't found in vendors' stores yet. So I'm growing all of those for sure. Spanish reds and pinks. What else? A bunch of Bill Yoders. He's a friend, and also out of his Depeche Mode line last year, I got 2 all-time favorites out of that, Suffer Well and Shake the Disease. I'm trying to think of what else. Those are the main ones. And then just a lot of, interesting greens that I haven't grown that sound great. And then, people send me things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how can I not grow this? Things like Hazel Creek from Mike Williams, things like Red Trash Panda from Shorty's Funny Farm. Like, there's a lot of those on my grow list. So, but as far as the main themes, it's Sophia, Spanish reds. So that's exciting. Hey, Lucas, glad you're here. Thinking of you the other day, I wanted to grow one of your hanging basket varieties, and I went to go start it, and I don't think I have it. Micro wine. Did you send me that? I don't know if you did or not. I'm not asking you to, but I had it on my grow list for this year, but I didn't have it in my inventory sheet. So I'm like, oh, maybe I don't have it. Speaking of Lucas, look at the shirt I'm wearing today. Frenemies. Little chipmunk or squirrel with tomatoes from Inspired Garden Life. Many of you know that Lucas Wallman is a very talented breeder. I grew one of his varieties last year, microberry, and it's this long trusses of beautiful kind of golden tomatoes. And I had a chipmunk we named Microberry Jerry, who I got some video of it. It's the cutest thing. I have him in his little hands. He's hanging on the trusses. He loved microberry. So maybe I'll have to find. So I got this shirt because of Microberry Jerry. Oh, Kim, that's nice. You get excited and get us excited. I'm glad to hear that. Heidi, yay! Welcome home. So happy to see you. Really glad to see you. I've got several of yours that you gave me that I'm growing this year, and I'll have to talk to you about the one micro, which you haven't released yet. I'm going to be growing that one again. Hi, Randy. Glad you're here. So happy to see you, Heidi. Jerry's here. Hello. Welcome. And Annette from Germany. Hi there. And Sam said she did redo her website. So homegrown in Illinois. Go check it out. It looks beautiful, Sam. Pat. He's my first tomato friend. Hi, Pat. My cat, Rory the Wonder Cat, came from Pat. Pat lives locally to me. He and his significant other at the time, they trap, neuter, and release colonies of cats. It's God's work. You know, it's not easy to catch these cats that are in colonies by like restaurant dumpsters and all that. And they took in a pregnant cat and waited for her to have kittens, and they gave the kittens away. And Rory is one of his cats. And Pat was like the first person I knew who had the obsession bad, like Rob and I did, like bad. So yeah, he's my first tomato friend. And then came Malachite Jen after that. But Pat is my local friend. Nice to see you, Pat. He's a very talented grower also of tomatoes and peppers. You did send me some. I'll have to locate it. It must be an envelope that I haven't gotten to. Oh, I'm glad you reminded me of this one, the most intense tomato I had so far. I am growing Nebulous Sugar Shock. I better write this down. Oh, by the way, if you can, have a notebook and pen in hand, because you may see things that you would like. I'm glad you reminded me of this. Now, this isn't a hanging one, right, Lucas? All right. Thank you for reminding me. Too many good ones that you sent me. I'm narrowing down my grow list is not good. Gardening with Bernie. Hi there. Welcome, Bernie. I'm not sure if we've met before, but nice to have you. And Blah Blah's here. Yay. Hi, Blah Blah. Okay. So without further ado, let's try to get the show on the road. How long did I talk? 20 minutes. Not ideal, but let's see. All right. Last week, I was having some technical difficulties, which I pretty much happen every episode. But I guess, oops, hang on. So you guys were seeing, I'm going through the alphabet on my grow list. And there's one that I couldn't get to show up for me, but Sam, I think it was you that said we can see it. So I'm going to start with that. Yeah, I think I left off this, mine are Rob's Tomato Bananas Noir. And then I said we've got a cherry mutation. We think, well, it was last year. We're going to see if we can stabilize that and get it to grow more cherries, then we would have another variety. They were super sweet and really, really yummy. But the one I couldn't, here it is. Okay, this is Baltic Chocolate. And it wasn't showing up for me, but I think Sam said you guys could see it. So this one I got from Tomato Awesomesauce from Latvia. And this information's from tomatniypomidor.ru. It's a tall mid-season variety, heart-shaped tomatoes, tricolor with anthocyanin. I'm not that big of a fan of antho, but sometimes you can't really taste it. If it's super strong, I don't like it. I will admit, Baltic Chocolate is still a little on the fence, but I haven't planted as of yet. Burgundy orange with green gel. I do like green gel. Aromatic pulp with fruit and berry notes, sweet, and the fruits are 200 to 350 grams. Please make sure if you are growing it or want to grow it or have grown it in the past, put something in the comments, because honestly, like, I can say I'm going to grow it, and I am repeating a few of them, larger handful than I did last year, because I want to use some of my favorites for breeding purposes. But if you've grown it before, your reports on it can be really, really helpful. Okay, Lucas says, no, it's a tall plant. That's right. Red atomic grape and sweet aperitif. F4 tasted like pineapple, but more intense than a real pineapple. I'm so glad you reminded me. Woohoo! Thank you, Lucas. Oh yeah, Kina started a little earlier than me. So you growing this one too, Kina? Baltic? Yeah, I guess it's the first one. Has good germination. Well, that's good to hear. This it wasn't in our first batch, I guess, because it's sort of still on the bubble. I have a feeling we'll end up doing it because it looks so good. And the inside looks like a Lauren tomato, looks like a Kina tomato, looks like a Deb tomato. It looks great. So hopefully it's a good one. And I've got a number of things that look just like this, especially from Sophia. Lisa L., I just started my Baltic this week. Excited for this one. Great. I guess we're all on the same page here. Many of us are on the same page. All right, this next one, oops, bananas. Honestly, if Bill Yoder hadn't told me that this is phenomenal, I would have totally not even given it a second look. But at the end of last season, Bill Yoder, who's a very talented breeder, is responsible for two of my all-time faves. He puts out these collections devoted to like 80s music. Duran Duran is a big one this year. I'm growing several of them, and hopefully we'll be showing you some today. But he said this is one of the best tomatoes he's ever had. It's from A.P. Whaley. Mark McCaslin of Frog's Leap Farm is the breeder. It's from the United States. It's part of the Cream of the Crop series. They say it's a mouth-watering, open-pollinated gem that captures attention with the expansive Cream of the Crop breeding program. It made its debut in 2024. It's a determinate, sizable 12 to 14 ounce or 340 to 400 grams mahogany fruits with green stripes. This delectable purple beefsteak tomato not only captivates with its unique appearance, but also possesses a well-balanced taste that promises a delightful culinary experience. What sets them apart is their remarkable storage capability, making them an invaluable addition for farmers markets looking to extend the shelf life of their produce. So it sounds like what Mark is doing is very similar to what the late Fred Hempel was doing, trying to get heirloom looks and flavor, but be able to transport to markets. A lot of our regular heirlooms, there's no way they could hold up to transport, or even farmers markets, if they're not growing their own. So things like Benevento by Fred Hempel or Benevento Marmo, those are all things that he created, those hybrids. Now, this one is not a hybrid, but it has good storage capability and easy to transport too. Anybody else grown this? Sam says, I've heard nothing but fabulous things about Mark's work from multiple breeders. Yep, me too. He's one of those guys that everybody really, really respects. Deb. Well, now I'm moving Beefy Purple back into the must grow pile. I know if I didn't have these things written down, like it says here, Bill said it's one of the best tomatoes he's ever had. If I didn't have that, this would easily be a one that I kicked to the curb. But then I remind myself of why I have it on there to begin with. So there's also a beefy red. There's at least a beefy red. I think there's one more beefy, but the beefy purple is the one he was talking about. Kyla's growing beefy purple too. Heidi's growing beefy purple this year. Excellent. I do have links. Now, last year, every time I shared a link in the comments, things freaked out on my end. If it starts doing that, what I'm going to do is, rather than share them during the show, I will put them in the show notes. And I may just do that anyway if it starts taking up too much time. Oh, I think I forgot a variety. No, I didn't. Where is it? Where's Beefy? Okay, here's Beefy. All right, let's hope this is good. Putting it here in the comments. Huh. Okay, nothing's freaking out. So you can get this. I don't know if they ship outside of the United States, but they are U.S. Distributors of these cream of blue crop varieties. And if this starts taking too long with me sharing the links, I may just say I'll put the links in the show notes after the show, just for the sake of being able to get through things quicker. Okay, next. Got these from my friend Kim Wallace. Belle Amitie, or Beautiful Friendship. This is from France, stabilized by Bruno Huge. Seeds are exclusive from Cultive Taru, or Cultivate Your Street. I need to do an unboxing. If it's not this week, it's next week, because they've just started reshipping to the United States. I've got them right here. It arrived to me from France in 9 days from the day I ordered. No joke. And they've got some great varieties. So I've been fortunate enough to have people like Kina and Kim who kindly have ordered things for me from them in the past, because it's not only a great resource site, they've got some great varieties. This is where it's exclusive to that company. Oh, Sam's growing this. It's beautiful, isn't it? Really gorgeous. I love the coloring on it. It's a variety that appeared at Safta Marcos in Romania. It comes from an off-type during the cultivation of a strain of Cazula 133 that Bruno brought to him during his stay at Safta. They both stabilized the present strain to offer us this very beautiful variety that they had considered calling Friendship. But this variety already exists for 2 other tomatoes, so they decided to call it Beautiful Friendship. Very pretty orange fruits with large pink marbling, delicious and sweet, a very nice variety to discover and enjoy in salad. Oh, Lisa, kissing the dirt already. Yay, 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 yay. Oh, Julia, you grew it last season. Tell us what you thought. Would love to hear. Oh, and Sam's growing it for her shop in the fall. Good to know. Okay, I've just made an executive decision. I am going to wait to share the links in the show until after. I'll put it in my show notes. It'll just be easier. We'll be able to get through more varieties, and also easy for those who are not watching live, to be able to go, and then you could go back and look too. Kina, had this on my first draft grow list, but I didn't sow it. Yeah, I haven't sown it either. It's a little bit on the bubble. I'm not sure. I talk myself into these things because just look at it. It's gorgeous. All right. This next one is definitely on the bubble, but it sounds interesting. I've heard really good things. It's called Be My Baby. Other vendors call it Be My Baby Gene Pool. I got these seeds from Hardy Seeds, 65 days. This productive cherry is the ongoing result of a cross of 3 famous tomatoes, an heirloom potato leaf beefsteak, and 2 cherries, 1 orange and 1 red. And the varieties are Brandywine, SunGold hybrid, and Sweet Baby Girl hybrid. So, wow, Brandywine with SunGold. I haven't grown Sweet Baby Girl, but that sounds like a great gene pool for sure. Remarkable cherry tomato, combination of over a decade of dedicated plant breeding, ingeniously crossing 3 renowned tomatoes. The breeding journey initiated in 1997, aimed to develop a red cherry tomato with regular tomato foliage, a goal now successfully achieved. Has anybody grown this? This one's been out a while, so I'd love to hear if any of you have grown it. Oh, Heidi has. You've grown it. You love it? Yeah? Good to know. No longer on the bubble. Yeah, Heidi agrees, and the show notes will be great. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm not sure why I haven't thought of it before, because not everybody can go. I don't want you to go and click links because you may miss something. So I'll do it after the show. Julie, we're going back to Belle Amitie. Mine looked just like the photo you have up, large and tasty. All right, thanks, Julia. Always helpful. Oh, and Heidi says Be My Baby's one of the most popular at her plant sale. Good to know. Sam had it on her list originally, but it fell away. Yeah, I forget where I came up with this. I was talking to somebody the other day, and then Keena and I have been joking about it. I've been saying, what have I been saying? That I'm a tomato enabler. I think Inspired Garden Life even has a shirt, something like that. But I've decided I'm a grow list disruptor because and Pete, you guys do it to me too, though. You send me excellent things. I'm like, oh, I thought I had my grow list solidified. So it's not just me, but I know that I'm a grow list disruptor. And I will wear that medal with distinction and honor. Hi, Rach, just Rach. Welcome. If you're watching on Instagram, hello. I can't see comments for people watching on Instagram. So if you want to bebop over to my YouTube channel, it is Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. And then you could be part of the episode and share your comments and your experience with the varieties I'm showing. And also Thursdays, anyway, you can be eligible for prizes. Instagram, you can really just watch. But I'm really, really glad you're all here. Cynthia is going to be growing my baby this year also. Nice. I forget how it like went on my radar. I think it originated from Fedco Seeds, as I already said. I think I was shopping for something at Hardy Seeds. I think that may have been where I got some Bill Archer variegated borage. And then, I had seen the name before, but they made it sound really good. Rowena, I was thinking the same thing. Make a great t-shirt. Grow List Disruptor. Yes. Grow List Disruptor, says Karen. Rach. I don't have any cherry started. I love that tomato. Yeah, I keep saying to everybody I'm doing less cherries than usual. I was saying it to Deb just this morning. But then I'm like, oh yeah, forgot about this one. And then I've got my coyote crosses that I'm attempting to stabilize for like year 4 at this point. They like to cross, let's just put it that way. Christy says, I think Val Smith put this one on my radar. The variegated borage, I'm going to PM you later. Please do. I have 2 sources. One is Dea Flora. Where is that, Keena? Denmark? Dea Flora? They do ship all over the world. And then I think it may have been that Hardy Seeds. The variegated borage is gorgeous. I first got seeds as a gift from Woodland Creations from Etsy. They're really nice people. They've been good to me and to the group. And I didn't even know it was such a thing. I plant borage in my beds with tomatoes. Not only are they beautiful, you can actually eat the flowers too, which I tend to not, but they are known to be hornworm disruptors. I mean, the hornworms don't like borage. So, and the variegate I grew for the first time last year, it's stunning, absolutely stunning. Keena says, and we have added to the disruptor and distributor. Yeah, well, we all trade seeds with each other. You're a distributor too, my friend. Oh, Germany. Thanks, Keena. Dea Flora, Deaflora. Okay, how are we doing here? This one is a grow list disruptor from you, Keena. I wasn't going to grow it. Was not going to grow it. Keena had been looking for this variety. It's called Ben Gantz. And it's an older heirloom. We asked Craig LaHoulier, not on this past episode with Jen and I, but I think the last time, I messaged him on Instagram, I think, asking because Keena really wanted it, and then Jen wanted it because her husband's name is Ben. And I think he said check Secret Seed Exchange, and it wasn't there. But Jardins des Tomates had it. Organization from France where you pay a flat fee and you can pick up to 40 varieties. So, but then Craig said it was just kind of okay. So I wasn't going to grow it. But then I read about it. And also, I don't know that Craig and I have the same taste either. And you guys probably won't have the same taste as me. Maybe when you read my reviews, if you've grown it, you'll be like, oh, okay, we're on the same page with that. But so just because Craig thought it was good, just nothing special. But here's what I read about it. Tomato Faifu says it's a variety resulting from the crossing of Stupis, and Cherokee Purple, developed between 2003 and 2008 by Paul Gantz of Hagerstown, Maryland, in the United States. It was distributed in 2009 in the F6 generation through the members of the message board Tomatoville. For comparison, the results were very positive, both in terms of earliness and taste. The fruits vary from 180 to 250 grams, but can reach up to 500 grams, so well over a pound. Beefsteak, most often flattened with waving shoulders. The bigger the fruit, the better. Pink and juicy beef flesh, very good to excellent flavor. Then there was a site I found called Nikki's Garden, and they say very strong and tangy. That sold me. With a nice balance of sweet and acid. I like that too. And she said it's her hubby's favorite pink. I really liked it too. Ended up on a BLT, a grow again, definitely. And her husband rated it a 9.5, and she rated it a 9. So they use the same grading system that Rob and I do, 1 to 10. So reading all that, I'm like, of course I've got to grow it. I mean, come on with those crosses. I love anything Cherokee Purple cross. So Kina, thank you for these seeds. She says, I have 3 perfect little potato leaf seedlings growing. That's right. Did we talk about this? That some are potato leaf and some are not? It doesn't even mention leaves here. Or is that something else we were talking about? I don't know. Blah, blah said, bees love the borage too. They do. I love it. Very easy to grow. Borage is an incredible companion plant. Highly recommend. I couldn't agree with you more. Could not agree with you more. Maybe it's a coincidence we haven't had a hornworm problem since growing these for the last couple of years. We've got our blacklight flashlight all ready to go out at night, and we do, and nothing. So we just plant a lot of borage. In fact, borage is best when direct sown, honestly, but I do have some started right over there, and they've popped right through. You can transplant it, but they do like to be directly sown. Kina says they are supposed to be potato leaf. Cool beans. Thanks, Kina. And thanks again for those seeds. Grow list disruptor. All right, this one I've been really excited about. I showed it on one of my episodes of Lauren's Tomato Awesomesauce. In fact, a lot of these that I'm talking about, you've probably seen in past episodes. There's a few I haven't talked about yet. But this one I'm super excited about. It is called Berck TF. TF standing for Tomato Fanny, which is a vendor that I'm new to ordering from this year from France. And this is her own cross. Her name is Stephanie Bidol. It's potato leaf, fruits 120 to 300 grams, seasonal variety, green chocolate interior. I mean, look at that interior. That's to die for. I love like the dark exterior with that like fireworks of an interior. It's great. The cross is purple calabash and brandywine apricot. Very interesting crosses. It's her first cross. She's got others that I'm growing, but this was her first cross. And I think this is the first year she's offering any of her crosses. Fleshy with many branches, very rich and tangy flavor for salads. Well, sure, it could be for anything, but you can tell from the way that it looks of it, it looks like purple calabash, at least with the ribbing and all of that. And brandywine apricot, that should be an interesting variety. Is purple calabash, is that face good or bad? It looks like bad. I'm not the hugest fan of purple calabash, but these crosses sound really interesting to me. Plus, just the looks of it, I'm like, oh yeah, growing this for sure. Hi, Linda. Very beautiful. I know. I agree. Absolutely gorgeous. I found Tomato Fanny because one of my Tomato Head members gifted me seeds, another variety that she bred. And so I put in my spreadsheet everything, and I do research, and I collect photos all to put on my Google Sheets spreadsheet. And then I came across these babies, and I was like, what? Must have. All right, next one. Big Malaka. Some of you are growing this, I know. Others are dying to get their hands on it. This, my friend Deb Henderson, I don't know if she's here today. She sent me seeds, very kind of her. It originates in Greece. At this time, for right now, you can only get it from one vendor called Vasilis, Vasilis. They're in Australia. Big, ribbed, shapy, meaty tomato that's packed full of flavor. Perfect for sandwiches. Average weight 900 grams, but can grow as big as 2.5 kilograms for each tomato. That's massive. Available only from this Vasilis in Australia. There's actually a Facebook group dedicated to growing these called the Big Malaka Tomato Competition. So you may want to check that out. They've got, at least when I took this screenshot, 3.6 thousand members. So, last year we finally got our 2-pound tomato that was Rob was dying for, large membranous, which I got seeds from Lydia at Carolina's Paradise. And we had, not only did we reach 2 pounds, some of them were on their way to 3 pounds. So, it's kind of fun. I honestly really don't care about the size, but it is fun. So Big Malaka is one of, I think, 2 maybe that we're growing for size, but it also sounds really tasty too. Who else is growing this? Oh, Sam's also growing it to be available in the fall. Excellent. You're going to be having lots of good things. Sam says calabash is bad. Cynthia says, well, look at the beauty. I know. And Tiffany Horty says, Big Malaka looks so cool. Don't forget, keep your notebook and pen handy. If you see varieties that look interesting to you, you can put it in our most wanted post in the group. You can put in Seed Seeking Saturday. You just never know. We're a very generous group. I know the packets of seeds only came, I think, with 10 per package. And they're only available in Australia as of now. Obviously, that'll change after the season. But maybe somebody can part with some extra seeds. So that's Big Malaka. Okay, here's another one that Bill Yoder said, I must grow. And I think I've told this several times, so many of you are growing it because of that. It's called Blackjack. Tell me if you've grown this. It's been out for a little bit. Heidi, why am I feeling like you've grown this before? Yes? Let me know. Heidi Dolan. Karen says, what a monster. I know. You've started a few of the Big Malaka already? I'm not sure if I have one left or not. Very cranky seedling. That's brave this early to do a Big Malaka. I'd be afraid I'd lose it before it's ready to plant out. Blackjack from Secret Seed Cartel. We found this tomato at our Saturday's farmers market. Secret Seed Cartel is in France, by the way. They're wonderful people. Great vendor also. It's grown and sold especially for French fresh markets. The only descriptor attached was they called it d'antan. The word antan means yesteryear, old days, yore. So we know this is a tomato that tastes like an heirloom. It did not have a variety name attached, as most heirlooms, so we think it was a newer commercial variety they wanted to compare to an heirloom. We've grown it again from saved seed, and it's a beauty. Thin-skinned, love. Very fat flesh with low seed count. Excellent paste tomato for sauce. Sits well for an extended period of days. The taste is sweeter when cooked. Eaten raw, it is mild and meaty. Very purple with the typical dark shoulders. Barely any core to this one. We are calling it Blackjack for lack of a name attached. Who's grown it? Sam's growing Blackjack. Achille is growing Blackjack. Excellent. Blah/Sue is growing it. Yay. Hi, I am Gift Bearer. Glad you're here. That one looks rich and meaty. I know. I love the color. I love those colors. And Heidi's growing Blackjack. Excellent. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. It looks and sounds phenomenal. All right. Speaking of Bill Yoder, the next one is one of his. Blasphemous Rumors. If there's ever a tomato that looked like a Lauren tomato, it is this one. It is from it's a new edition. He released the Depeche Mode series last year, but once in a while he'll add newer things to a list or a collection that's already been out. So this is added to the Depeche Mode line. originates from the United States. He says it's an early maturing, very productive bicolor with great flavor. If you like Captain Lucky, Ananas Noir, Copper River, etc., you will love this one. He calls it Blasphemous Rumors. It's a reference to those that believe a tomato that is any other color than red is considered blasphemy. He and I have talked about this before. You can add this to my list of offenses. It sure is hot in my greenhouse. Anybody else growing this one? Yeah, Keen, of course you're growing this one. No, we have to grow this one. I mean, come on. Yes, Sam, seriously, I think you're growing every single one, or at least one, maybe one fell off your grow list, but I know we are grow list twins for sure. The name, LOL, I know. And yeah, this looks delicious too. It does. So good. It looks just so good. So I don't have any other information. It was just released. You can't order it anywhere else right now. Bill doesn't have a site, but you can friend him on Facebook, Bill Yoder, Yoder. I'm not sure if he's taking any more sales at the moment, but I guarantee you that after this year, you will see it at vendors. I think, actually, I know a couple of members from Australia have been growing some of the Duran Duran line and some of Bill's newer stuff. And even down south in Florida, I saw somebody selling some of Bill Yoder's stuff on Etsy. Some of it, just a couple of things. But so they've obviously gotten ripe fruits already. And in Australia, they were opposite seasons, so they would have had it already. Blasphemous Rumors. And honestly, I think it's blasphemy for anybody to not try a green when ripe tomato. Just saying. You have to get over the outside looks and realize that they're some of the most delicious tomatoes, in my opinion, there are, for sure. Okay. You would think I'm like a Bill Yoder stalker. I'm not, but this is another, he happens to be in the bees. This is another one he grew last year and says it's fantastic. This variety is another Sofia Sakova variety. She's from Russia. Just the looks of it, I mean, say no more, right? Looks phenomenal. Does have antho at the top. I think Bill told me you can't really taste the antho. We'll see. Growing this. It's an F5. I don't know why I didn't put that on the slide, but it's an F5 right now. This is information directly from Sophia. She says it's her favorite and her pride. Simply gorgeous tomato. Gets to be 1.8 meters tall. Mid-season with long fruiting. Fruits are high, flat, round, very beautiful. What colors are not there? And burgundy and emerald and ochre and purple and all this with a good antho. Shimmers and glows like neon. It does. She has many tomatoes that seem to just be neon too. I mean, she and Bill together, it's like artwork, the two of them. Fruit weight from 200 to 500 grams. The taste is sweetest with fruity notes. Super, she says. Keena's growing this too. Yep, of course. I'm handling in our group. We're doing certain categories of grow outs this year. I'm in charge of the Sofia Sakova, and I think somebody signed up for Bliss, but I'm just growing this one because I need to grow it too. Karen says, I tried unsuccessfully twice to order Blackjack from Bill Yoder. Maybe next year. Why don't you put it in Most Wanted, Karen, or in Seed Seeking Saturday? I guess Secret Seed Cartel is out of stock because they're the ones that originated it. I think they may be out of stock, but I know enough people have them and perhaps have even grown them. It's not new to this year. I would put it in there. Maybe you'll get lucky. I know Bill's, many of you know he had back surgery several months ago and it did not work. So he's really struggling right now. He's having to really drastically reduce his number of tomatoes. They're exploring other options. I don't think he'd mind me saying any of this, but so if you're having trouble reaching him or even friending him, he's not in the greatest place. So keep him in your prayers. Kim says, I'm hoping to find seeds for Blasphemous Rumors. It looks amazing. I know those of us who are lucky enough to be able to order some of these seeds from Bill, you only get 10 per package. So you don't have a lot to spare. Perhaps some of us are waiting to see if things germinate and then you're willing to be able to part with some of your extras. But Keep trying. I would keep trying. Lisa's growing this one too. And Rowena, looking forward to this one for sure. It's a must grow. Catherine Jones says it's on the grow list for sure. This is one to gift to the neighbors due to the name. Bliss for Blasphemous Rumors. Oh, Malachi Jen's here. I talked about you earlier, saying you were my first online tomato friend. Checking in briefly. Oh, that's right. You're on vacation, sitting on the beach while Junie and hubby play in the waves. Oh, love you, Jen. So glad you're here. Your campsite looks incredible. I'm so happy for you guys. Oh, and Jen's here listening on her way home from work. Hey, buddy. Glad you could tune in. Deb, surely you're growing this one, yes? Bliss, you must be. You must be. Linda says it's gorgeous. Elizabeth B says beautiful tomato. Julie's growing it. Julia and I have similar tastes as well. On my list this season, so looking forward to it for sure. Achilles says, I'm growing Bliss. I'm excited to finally find out what antho tastes like. Well, I'm hopeful and just positively hopeful that it's a good antho experience for you. I've had some good antho without the really strong, so I feel like often it has a soapy flavor to it, like Black Beauty. Tastes like soap to me. But other people love it. So, but sometimes if it's just kind of kissing the top, it's good. And I'm growing it regardless. So we shall see. Malachi Jen says, Bliss is too gorgeous not to try. Hoping no antho flavor. See? Malachi Jen and I have the exact same palette. Lisa says, I'm growing this one for sure. Karen's growing it. Growing Bliss. Kina's kind of echoing what I'm saying. To really taste antho, you need to grow like Black Beauty or Indigo Rose. That is all antho taste. Yeah. But if you do, don't let that scare you because there are some good. But yeah, they do make for a sexy looking tomato. I will say this. So some people, I know there's an Instagram account that they only show, and actually 2 Instagram accounts I can think of, that they only show antho varieties. It makes for a sexy social media post. And I like that, but for me, it's all about flavor. Looks are, up there, but flavor first. Interior shot excites me more than exterior. But I'm not growing things just for sexy social media posts at all. Jen's growing Bliss too. Nice. I have degenerative disease of spine and major joints. I'm so sorry. You should join my other group, Rach Just Rach. It's called Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. I've run it for over 10 years. It's a positive place for people like us. I live with chronic pain and illness also, just to help us get motivation and inspiration for the day. We don't actually talk about our conditions. It's solution-based, and we do, offer all kinds of tools in there. So if it really is debilitating for you, and it sounds like it must be, I would love to have you join. Christina, hi Christina. Bliss, what a stunner. I know it, right? Deb says the Bliss seed packet's on my dining room table still. Antho tastes like cat pee smells to me. Oh, interesting. I can see it, but only if it's a direct parent. Yeah, totally agree. Dances with the Smurfs, or P20, otherwise known as OHU Blue. Is that it? Ugh, not a fan, but a lot of people use those, like P20 especially, to breed and get the antho color. And look, it's just me. I'm not a fan of antho. But again, if it's just kissing the top, it's just a little bit, I like it. Hi, Callie. Bliss is gorgeous. Yep. Catherine says, Blasphemous Rumors is on the list. I don't think I have seeds for Bliss. This one, I'm pretty sure you can get seeds at tomatoeden.net. It's been out, I think this is only the second year it's been out. So I think she had that last year. If you're looking, Blasphemous Rumors, not yet. She will. But Bliss, I think you can find them there. Christy, just wondering how many soap bars you have licked. Good question. Not a lot. but enough where I don't know. I don't know how I know what soap tastes like, but I guess I do. Maybe I accidentally had it on my hand. I didn't rinse right. I don't know, but I know what soap tastes like. But I haven't done like a taste test of different soaps. I think of Ralphie from A Christmas Story where his mom stuck a bar of Life Buoy in his mouth, which cracks me up. Yeah, not very good question, Christy. Very good question. Rach says, I haven't grown an antho. Do feeds like humic, fluvic acid, baking soda, etc. affect taste? I don't know if they affect taste. I do use some biostimulants like humic acid to help with germination. In fact, Keen and I and Jen were talking about this today. The mycorrhizal fungi that I have grown to love, it's called Bigfoot. They have, it's not just mycorrhizae in there, it's also the humic acid and, there's something else I can't think of, another biostimulant. I don't know that it affects taste. If anybody does know that, let me know. I would guess no, but I could be wrong. Hi, Evelina. I have Bliss from both Grafsamina and TOMATO Awesomesauce. I'll try both and see if there's a big difference. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, both of those places. I'm trying to think of where I got mine. I think I ordered mine from Yoder. But yeah, I love both of those vendors, Grafsamina and TOMATO Awesomesauce. Grafsamina from Ukraine, TOMATO Awesomesauce from Latvia. They do ship worldwide, so you can for sure find them. Oh yeah, fibro too. Thank you, Lauren. Oh yeah, please join us. Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. Would love to have you. I actually thought I was going to have to cancel today because it hasn't happened a lot, but I have neurological issues with my lupus and fibromyalgia, and I was getting the tremors really, really bad. But I only take medication when I need it. Often it doesn't work, but it worked today. Plus, it helps me to forget about things when I'm live on the air talking tomatoes with you guys. Hi, Eric. I made it. I had to fix my car and just got done. Glad you're here. So if you're just joining us, welcome. I'm going to put the links, not necessarily to buy all these because a lot of what I got can't be purchased most places yet. But I will at least provide you with a link on where you can look into it. I'm going to put it in the show notes after the show. Maybe I'll try to do it tonight, but definitely by tomorrow. So you guys can look back, and then those of you who are watching the recording can look back and see. I thought about the cilantro thing too, Sam. If you have an aversion to cilantro, I feel like that is who notices antho. Actually, I love cilantro, but I know some people say cilantro tastes like soap. So it's interesting. So yeah, I love cilantro, but that is a very good example of, people either love it or they hate it. Yeah, good question, Tiffany. No, I'm not one of the cilantro soap people. Go figure. Chef says, as a kid, if I said a bad word, my mother used lava soap. Oh yeah, that's some old time soap, isn't it? Lava. I think they still sell it. Lisa says, I've never experienced the antho taste. I have to laugh when you guys talk about it, especially Jen and Ben. They are such antho drama queens. Believe them. Believe them. They are right. I'm probably a worse drama queen when it comes to antho. And Gift Bearer says, I think additives and pH, I know pH do affect taste. Okay. However, never grown an all black tomato, only antho shoulders. I don't necessarily mind antho shoulders. Oh, good. You sent a request to join my group. Excellent. And we do have a cooking, crafting, gardening sister group in there that you should join also. And Rach says, cilantro, the soap taste has been attributed to a gene more predominant in males. Interesting. That is interesting. All right. Let us keep going. We're still in the bees. This is another one that Kina is a grow list disruptor and a distributor for me. Burnt sugar. I had this on my grow list back probably around October. I think I found it. The one site, it's Lillehage, LILLEHAGE.no, Norway. And I showed Kina and Jen a link. I'm like, oh my God, look at this. And Kina's like, I already got it for you as part of your Christmas present, so don't order it. Not that I could order it from there. I don't think I can. But so Kina sent me these. These are already in soil, and it's a dwarf burnt sugar. And I forgot it was a dwarf, Kina, but it looks and sounds good. It's a determinate. Gets to 100 centimeters, which is what? 40 inches, give or take. Regular leaf, early season, only 70 days. Reddish brown, round. The weight of the fruit is 100 to 180 grams. They say it's a variety that produces a large yield of juicy tomatoes with a deliciously sweet taste, and it is from Russia. Thank you, Kina, for these seeds. Really excited. I have 2 little seedlings from this one also. Did you remember it's a determinate dwarf? I totally didn't. Although I do have on my grow list, I do have it listed as a dwarf, but I guess I kind of forgot. So I just put that in the ground this weekend. Hey, Olivia, nice to see you here. Hi, friend. Glad you're here. Love the color of burnt sugar. Wow, me too. It's just so funny that I said to Dakina, she's like, yeah, I already got it for you. Okay, this next one we grew for the first time, believe it or not, 2 years ago, and it became an instant favorite. I'm growing it this year to not only taste it again, but I also want to use it in a idea for a cross that I have. It's called Captain Lucky. It is bred by a very talented breeder from the United States, the late, great Millard Murdoch. And I forget how many years ago, it may have just been last year, but perhaps the year before, the Joe Gardner podcast, Craig LaHoulier was on there, and they were doing it like they were talking tomatoes for the episode, and they did a blind taste test. And I forget if it was just one of them or both agreed that Captain Lucky was their favorite. I think Craig was a bit surprised. I think he thought it would be Cherokee Purple. And don't quote me on this. It was something like that, though. But they both loved Captain Lucky. And it was the same year that we grew it for the first time. And it's just amazing. Some other crosses have come out of this, too. Variety from the United States. It's a crossing of Lucky Cross and an unknown variety that was stabilized by Millard. Round fruit weighing 200 to 300 grams. These pictures are from when we grew it. This was a particularly large fruit. They're not all that big. Beautiful one, though, isn't it? Slightly ribbed at the stem end and flattened at the bottom. Beef flesh, fleshy and juicy with an exceptional flavor. We gave it a 9 out of 10. I didn't have a refractometer at the time, so I don't know the bricks taste, but we felt it was just outstanding, like a really good mix of sweetness with a little bit of tang, but very, very sweet. Plant with great development, potato foliage, indeterminate. What did we write in our review? We wrote, so sweet and tangy, power punch of flavor that is one of the best tomatoes we've ever tried. This was a 1.5 pound tomato. Yeah, that's what we had to say about Captain Lucky. I know many of you have grown Captain Lucky. If you have, shout out. Yeah, Captain Lucky, so good. It is. It absolutely is. I want this. Yeah, chef, put it in most wanted. I know people have seeds for Captain Lucky. It's been around a while. Nicole says, finally, I'm growing this one this year. Yay! I don't know anybody who doesn't like Captain Lucky. I've seen this one on Etsy. It's a great one. Oh, Francis. Hi, Francis. So looking forward to Captain Lucky this year. You won't be sorry. And Rowena grew this last year. Enjoyed Captain Lucky last year. And Eric says, I'm growing Captain Lucky thanks to Malachite Jen. She's a grow list disruptor too, that girl. Oh, Teresa. Hi, Teresa. Mine is 6 inches tall now. Very good. Nicole, you got a refractometer? Can't wait to use it this season. Yay! If you're not aware of what a refractometer is, they've been around for a while. People that with diabetes, they've had them for, long time. And some vendors had them, but very few. Last year was the year that refractometers just blew up. It's a little tool that you can use. It measures the sugars in fruits, foods, obviously tomatoes. A lot of people got them, and I have a digital one. It makes it easy to share my scores in my reviews when I'm live with you all, but they sell very inexpensive silver ones. They all look the same because they really essentially are the same, and they work just fine. So you don't need to get an expensive refractometer, but they are fun. And also, I say this all the time, but in case this is your first time watching, don't necessarily go by just the sugar content in a tomato. Especially with indeterminates and beefsteaks, there are so much more to a flavor profile than just the sugars. I don't like all sweet tomatoes. I do like very sweet micro dwarfs, and I do like very sweet cherries, but I do like a little tang. And in my beefsteaks, I've grown many, testing last year for the first time, that were in the fives. I think Suffer Well was actually 8 or 9, something like that. But even in the fives, there's still a lot more to taste. But I think it's fun to do, and I think it does help a little bit, since taste is so subjective with all of us. At least you can be aware of the sugars. And I think Kina said this recently, and it's very true. Our climates are all different. Our soils are all different. Our procedures are all different. So my Captain Lucky may not measure the same as your Captain Lucky. So, but it's fun, and it's a good guideline to have. If you're in the group, you saw that I am breeding micro dwarfs, and I was going to discard this one variant that I'm growing, and it was just a little plant. I'm looking for something with bigger beefsteak fruits on it, and this was just small little round ones, but thank God I tasted it. It had a Brix of 11. I don't know that I've had a tomato, never mind never a micro that was measured an 11. I've had some micros like Candy Berry and Deco Tomate that have been 9, but 11 was like, whoa. So I will be stabilizing that further this year in the F3 generation. Elizabeth's growing Captain Lucky, yay, yay, yay. Christina, finally one I'm growing. I'm glad you're growing it. It's an excellent one. Teresa says she's growing it for the first time. Catherine Jones says, I've enjoyed growing Captain Lucky for the last 3 or so years. Yeah, we were going to grow it last year, and then, what happens? There's so many new ones. I get seeds from all of you, rare things I've ordered, new things that come on the scene, like Bill Yoder's and Sofia Sakova and all of that. And then slowly the ones that we wanted to regrow get bumped off. We never bump off Malachite box, Malachitovaya Shkotulka. We never bump off, why am I not thinking properly? Oh, Banana Noir, our tomato. How soon they forget. Martha says, just talked to my 7-year-old, and he's excited to get a refractometer to taste test our tomatoes this year and other fruits. How fun. What a great way to get our little guys involved in it. He will have a great, great time. What a wonderful idea. Oh, you and me both, my friend. I like sweet with a good balsamic. Aged balsamic. None of this reduced syrupy stuff they add sugar to, but real aged balsamic. Not the balsamic glaze, but aged balsamic. It's a little pricey, but a little goes a long way. It's to die for. And some real nice extra virgin olive oil. I've got 2 favorite brands. If anybody is interested, I don't sell them or anything, but I've taste tested a lot of aged balsamic and extra virgin olive oil in the past. I've got 2 that you can private message me, and I'd be happy to share the brands with you. The olive oil, believe it or not, is from Brooklyn in the United States. You would think Italy, but they do get, I think, some of their olives from Italy, but it's produced in Brooklyn. It is really high for a tomato, 11. I know, I'm like, am I seeing things right? I'm going to call it Micro Brix Fix. I have that one to grow, but I'm not sure how many big tomatoes I can fit. Yeah, they definitely don't all get to 1.5 pound fruits. This was an extraordinarily large one we had that year. Kelly's growing Captain Lucky. Oh, this is a tough one, Chef. What's better, Captain Lucky or Vilma? It's kind of like comparing apples to oranges. Vilma is a micro dwarf. In my top 2, for sure. Probably with well, maybe 3. Paws Pride is excellent. I do love my Vilma. It's really hard to compare a cherry, especially a micro, with an indeterminate. It feels like apples to oranges for me. I mean, if I had to pick, I guess I would probably say Captain Lucky, but I don't want to knock my Vilma because for a micro dwarf, she's an excellent, excellent tomato, in my opinion. Yep, didn't even see this, Sam. You're right. Yeah, they're much different in size. It's definitely tough to compare those. Hi, Paragoon 12. Anyone grown Venus micro dwarf tomato and know if they're worth growing? I have. Do you have others that you can grow? Because it was just very tasteless for me. I forget what we rated it, but it wasn't high at all. There's a lot of the older micro dwarfs that just don't have much flavor. Really cute, very productive. But if you have others you can grow instead, with the exception of Orange Hat. And if you want to talk to me privately, you can private message me in the group, or you can email me. Here's my email address, learny@me.com. It's in the show notes too. And this goes with any of you if you have questions that perhaps I don't know everything. I don't proclaim to be an expert. I've grown a lot of micros and I've been growing tomatoes for 30 years, but I'm a forever learner. But always happy to help when I can. So please email me or private message. I will check it more often. Gardening with Bernie, trying to listen discreetly in the dentist office. Tell your dentist to put it on the TV while you're getting your teeth cleaned. And you say, just hearing about all these different varieties of tomatoes, my list is growing. I know. Sorry, I'm a grow list disruptor. Oh, you do have lots. Good. I hesitated to answer that because I'm like, if that's all you've got. Good. Yeah, I wouldn't waste your grow space for Venus. And I keep saying I'm going to put out like a top 10 list in the group, and I get so busy with other things. Okay, let's move on. Captain Lucky's fantastic. All right, we're into the seas. How much time? Really? I don't want to go longer than 90 minutes. We're doing okay. This is many of you got this from Craig LaHoulier. Not this past time Craig was on Tomato Talk Live with Jen and I, but the previous time he made a cross between Captain Lucky and SunGold, which is an F1 hybrid. Many people's favorite indeterminate paired with many people's favorite cherry. He made the cross, and he offered to give seeds to anybody. This goes back several months. If you don't have them by now, I think he told me recently he doesn't have any more to give out. But he sent me 1 seed. And I know with many of you, maybe you got 1 or 2 seeds as well. He sent them out to a couple hundred people. He's such a good guy. So really curious. He actually sent me the F2 of these 2, and I forget what he called it, treasure chest or something like that. I'm going to do the F1 just to see what I get. I may decide to try an F2 of it or so, but I know many of you are growing this too because, what an honor to get seeds directly from Craig, and 2, what fun it is to see what comes out from this. Hi, Eva. You're late. That's okay. I'm going to go for 90 minutes today, so we've got 15 more minutes. And Eva says, I need that cross. It sounds phenomenal, doesn't it? Totally. So don't really have info for you because it's new to many of us this year. And I forget what he told me about the F2s he got, but I mean, the F2s will truly be a treasure chest because all the distinctions of the parents will start coming out. Not to mention SunGold is a hybrid, so this thing's going to be splitting all over the place. And I don't mean splitting like in the fruits itself, but I mean going off on lots of tangents as far as what you get from the fruit. Okay. Next one is another one of Sophia's. I've featured this on the show before. Excited, where it says Lauren's pick. That's just because I'm using an older slide. I think this is from an episode I did with Jen talking about our grow lists, maybe. It's called Captivating Heart. It's in the F6 generation. I forget if this is one that you can get. I don't think this is one you can get from like Tomato Eden yet. I think Sophia was the only one selling it. I could be wrong, but I think this is one that you'll find after this season, but this season you won't. Sophia's from Russia. She says it's a novelty of her selection. For 6 years, it's shown good stability. Still a small percentage of splitting, meaning what I just said, that it'll go off on, it could go off and have different variants that come out. Much like Jarson's, Kazula's, Alafirov tomatoes have been splitting like crazy. It's what happens when, F7, F8 is usually considered stable, but, she could have good stability at an F6 for sure. 2 meters high, mid-season, beautiful elongated shape with noses, meaning like the beak at the bottom. 3-colored, emerald, pink, purple, yellow with antho sign and cap. The color goes from one to another and seems to glow from the inside. It does. It does. I mean, just the colors, it's like, amazing. Ideal balance of sugar and acid. The taste is just super. She said, I had a lot of work with this variety, very few seeds in the fruits, and some there were none at all. A very limited supply of seeds that she had to sell. So for those of you in my Sophia grow out, you may want to consider this. Some of Sophia's don't have a lot of seeds, so make sure you're saving enough seeds to be able to give out. And you can ask about this in our grow out group chat if you're confused as to the number we're asking for, but just keep that in mind. She said, at the moment of this writing, I can't collect seeds from it. They're missing from the fruits. Yikes. I cut up more than a bucket of fruits, but all to no avail. There are still fruits. They are ripening. As soon as I manage to collect at least a little, I will put them up for sale. So I am very, very honored to have seeds for this one. We'll be saving every seed I can get my hands on. Oh, Missy, this is nice. So glad to have you, Kina, and Jen as a resource. I have strange things in my garden at times. Don't we all, Missy? Eric says, captivating heart is stunning, isn't it? Luann, I'm not giving away prizes during my Grow List episodes, but come back on Thursday. I'll be giving away prizes again. Let's see who else we got. Eva says, pretty. Chef says, oh my. Luann, I know. This is one of hers that I'm most excited to grow. There's a couple, but this is one that is one of the most that I'm growing. Anybody else growing it this year? Would love to hear from you. And here's another Bill Yoder from the Duran Duran line. He and I had been talking, and so I'm a bit of a reason why he chose some of the songs and that he was doing a Duran Duran line. I mean, he already had the tomatoes, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, you need to do a Duran Duran one. He's a big fan too. It's not like I dictated that he'd do this, don't get me wrong. But I am growing a number of the Duran Duran line. I'm a huge Duranie. I've shared this many times, but my best friend from college is their manager. She was a huge fan also, and I've actually met the band a few times. So really excited to grow some of these. And Bill said out of the Duran Duran line, the Chauffeur is his favorite. He said it's amazing. He says it's introducing the Chauffeur, the first addition to my upcoming Duran Duran collection. Since this is definitely my favorite tomato, I've named it in honor of my favorite Duran Duran song. The flavors of this one will blow you away. This is my if you could only eat one tomato. So come on. How could you not? If you can only eat one, what is if you can only eat one tomato? Gosh, at this point, for me, it's either Malachite Box or Suffer Well, one of his Depeche Mode ones from last year. So I can't wait to taste this one. Please grow a bumper crop for seed sale. Well, I actually don't sell seeds, but I will be saving as many as possible to be able to share with the Grow Out group and whatever's left over with members of the group. You're growing Captivating Heart, right, Kina? Yeah. For sure. How could you not? Kim says this is on my grow list this year. Akelia says I got Chauffeur from Bill Yoder. Excited about this one. It's great, right? It shows a second of his as to check it out. I have a heart for the Beastie Boys from my teen years. I think I'm only growing one Beastie. I had some more on my list. I'm even cutting some Duran Duran ones, and that pains me. They're my band, but I just don't have enough space. I want to grow it all. This one fell off my list. Yeah, it would have, honestly, too, based on the way it looked, but it was Bill saying you can only have one. It's not going anywhere. Growing this one because of his comments. Yep, same. I want that heart definitely, and have Chauffeur on my wish list too. List wrecker. Grow list disruptor. I prefer grow list disruptor. Heidi's growing this one. And Achilles growing into Galactic from the Beastie Boys line. Heidi, you're a bad influence. I'm pretty sure I can rent a tractor and plow the back 40 for you. Don't tempt me. I promised Rob last year with the 4 new raised beds. I'm like, this can be it. And honestly, as much as I would like to grow everything else, it's a lot of work, and I don't even sell the seeds. It's a lot of work. I take pictures. We do detailed reviews every single night, write them down. And I want to be able to enjoy them without feeling stressed. And it's already bordering on, we got to test this, and then saving seeds. I do love it, but I want to continue loving it. And I want to continue having Rob love it. I think it was early last year. I was telling Deb this, that early last year, before we had the season, he was kind of like, are we still having fun? But once the season came around, he was. And I want to keep it that way. I want to keep it manageable. And I found what's manageable for me is like 125 and still at 144. So if I fall somewhere in there, I'd be okay. 150, I just won't do it to myself or Rob. Chef wants to create some Grateful Dead tomatoes. There you go. Lisa wants Chauffeur too. Going to put it on my list. I'm available as a farm manager. You know what? We have to talk to, or I want to talk to Cabbage Throw Farm, Heidi. They're right around the corner from me. I spoke with them at a farm stand last year. If you guys don't know them on Instagram, Cabbage Throw Farm, really nice people, young couple that purchased a farm around the corner from me. And I talked to them about doing a tomato event this year, and I haven't reached out to them since. So I'll have to see if I really feel like I can do that, and if they're still interested. Lisa understands the balancing act. It really is a balancing act, right? For sure. I would love to plow the spare lot, but can't deal with what I have. I stare at the lot a lot. I hear you. Oh, Missy, Chauffeur and Captivating Heart hit the soil yesterday. Good. Okay. Next one. How are we doing on time? 6 minutes. Okay. Gosh, I swear it must just be the B's and the C's. I'm not just growing everything Bill Yoder tells me to grow, but this is another one. This is one of another Sophia Sakova. This is the second year it's available. You can get these seeds at Tomato Eden. It's called Cherry Stripes. Look at this tomato. It kind of looks like that Berck TF I showed earlier, Tomato Fanny. It's got the dark striped exterior and that interior that I love so much, kind of a green and ripe tricolor with a hot pink heart. Love it. Tomato Eden has it. They say it's an experimental variety. It's from Sophia, as part of the Trees of Lower Stripes experiments that she's been doing. This is part of one of the splits. It's an indeterminate medium height, 1.8 meters, mid-season. Fruits are wide, heart-shaped with a cherry spot and stripes from the base. Average weight from 180 to 300 grams. Marmalade, sweet pulp, May split. And then Sophia herself says, it's my selection from the variety Trees of Lower Stripes. Indeterminate, high 2 meters in a greenhouse. Her fruits got to be 300 to 500 grams, so a bit larger than Tatiana's at Tomato Eden. Wide heart-shaped green ochre with cherry stripes from the center of the top, pulp, tasty. Who else is growing it? Kelly says, need to add the Chauffeur to my grow list. Rowena says, yes, cherry stripes. I get to grow it thanks to a friend who sent me seeds. Very nice. Very nice. Rowena, I'm starting to think you and I have very similar tastes also. I know you love my banana noir, and that's quite an honor. But you and I seem to be growing a lot of similar stuff and seem to have the same palate. So that's exciting. Lisa's growing this one too. Excellent. Kelly from the Duran Duran line. I'm growing Rio, the Reflex, New Moon on Monday, and now the Chauffeur. I'm not doing the Reflex, Rio, or New Moon on Monday. Do you know how painful that is for a Duran Duran fan to have to say that I'm not growing some of them? Come on, but I am growing others. God, can I really do that? Like one of the world's largest Duran Duran fans, I'm actually cutting some of theirs from the list. I don't know. Now I feel guilty. How can I do this to my band? Here's another one. I've only seen this at one site, but a vendor friend from Latvia got me 2 of these seeds. It's called Chocolate Avalanche. It's a variety from Russia. It's from a Instagram site that also has, they're also a vendor, catalog.com_nada_tomatov. Indeterminate, mid-season, very productive variety. Height 1.8 meters. Fruits are chocolate covered, heart-shaped. Weight 100 to 250 grams. The pulp is fleshy, juicy, very tasty, and they recommend that you double stem it. Let me enlarge this. Oops, not me. It looks fantastic, doesn't it? Very interesting. So I had this one on my grow list, not expecting it to get it this year. And she knocked a bunch off of my wish list that I didn't think I would get this year. So send me germination issues with some of these, because some of them I only have 2 seeds, and this one did hit the dirt on Sunday. Here's another one. I think this came from that same grow list. I didn't even get this one from Sophia herself, but from this vendor friend who got me 2 seeds. Chocolate Delight is another of Sophia's. It's an F6. She says it's another new product of my selection. Showed good stability, but at this stage of selection, it showed good stability at this stage of selection, but there's still a possibility of splitting. It's one of her favorites. Charmed with beauty and amazing sweet taste with a slightly noticeable sourness. Very tasty. 1.8 meters high bush of medium ripening period. Fruits of a beautiful heart shaped with noses. 200 to 300 grams. It says rubles here. I can't imagine. But rubles are not a weight of fruit that I know of. Should be grams. But chocolate brick with green stripes. The pulp is the color of milk chocolate. Oily with streams. Anybody else have seeds for this and they're growing it? You don't have this one, Hakina? It is a good looking tomato, isn't it? Yeah, I think this may have been one of the ones I only got 2 seeds. I'm pretty sure it is. So that's Chocolate Delight. What are we doing on time? 5:29. How far can we get? I don't want to keep people too long. I was hoping to get further than this. This is another one. I got more than 2 seeds, and I was able to gift some to a few of you. Two of you, I think. Chocolate Henry. It's another Sophia variety that I did not get from her, but got from a few other tomato friends. From Russia, Chocolate Henry. What do they say? It's an F6 cross-pollination of 2 varieties from her favorites, Henry Osana and Cindy, West Virginia. That doesn't sound right. Is it Gary Osana? Probably Gary Osana. Cindy, maybe there is a Cindy, West Virginia. I don't know. Indeterminate, potato leaf, mid-season, large chocolate fruits, dense sweet pulp, 300 to 700 gram. These are big. Excited for this one. Let me get in. Can I get in 2 more? I'll get in 2 more. I'll be quick. Can't believe all this we're still on the seas. Thank goodness I didn't put all the links during the show. We'd never get through this. Okay, chocolate liqueur. This variety I got from a vendor that was new to me ordering this year called Oreshka, Oreshka. What do I know about it? Indeterminate, tall, medium ripe. Plant is strong, formed in 2 to 3 stems with a mandatory garter. So obviously trellising. The fruits are flat, rounded, red-brown with green stripes, weighing from 300 to 500 grams. The flesh of the fruits is juicy, fleshy, and very tasty. Sorry, I go from hot to cold all the time. That's the beepy here. Heater on, heater off. Delicious salads made of exotic fruits. High resistance to major tomato diseases. Jardins de Tomates has it. Okay, so Oreshka and Jardins de Tomates. They say mid-season variety with good yield. They have anything new to say? 1.8 to 2 meters tall. This variety is listed on Russian sales sites, but the origin is not specified. They got their seeds from Croatian seeds, so you can get, if you're able to order from Croatian seeds, you can get this one there. I just love the color on it, which is why I picked it. Deb, I know Chocolate Avalanche does look amazing, right? I wish I could share some with you. I think I only have 2. Sorry. Hoping that they germinate. Rowena Chocolate Avalanche looks like it would have good flavor. Yep, I agree. Love the color. Heidi says that one looks really yummy. That also looks so darn good. I know. Chocolate Henry, I guess we're talking about. Yeah. And it looks like a Sophia with seeds in it. Yep. No, you don't have it. I have to take a look, but I think it's a 2-seater. Lisa, just a thought. If I have 30 more years of gardening and I only grow 100 new variety tomatoes a year, not repeating variety, I will only hit 3,000 tomato varieties out of the 10,000 known worldwide. I think it's closer to 30,000 worldwide. And yes, Malaka Jen brought this to my attention a few years ago. And she's younger than I am. I'm older than her by quite a bit, I think. Like, how many more can I grow in my lifetime? So I've got to grow as many as I can. And they keep coming out with new ones. It's not even like I can go and hit the whole, 30,000 list and start chipping away at that. There's more that are invented all the time. I invent my own. And then I've got to stabilize those. So yeah, it's a little overwhelming to think about. But the important thing, the very most important thing, is that you have fun. We have fun. Choose things that look interesting to you. If you are in a climate that is troublesome, choose things that are more well suited to your climate. I'm fortunate we have a climate that's we're pretty much able to grow just about everything. New Jersey, we're known for our Jersey tomatoes. We've got a great climate for tomatoes. But some desert varieties, or if you're in northernmost climates, you may not do well with a late season variety. So that will help you to get more successful tomatoes, but just have fun. I do these shows because I have fun. I have fun with it. I'm so grateful to have you all, those of you watching live and the replay, because it's fun getting excited about them with you. Before I had all my tomato friends, Rob and I got excited together. I'm also very fortunate that my husband enjoys it. He's not quite as much of a lunatic as I am. In fact, not even close to being a lunatic as I am. But we do it together. We started the seeds together. We harvest together. We do the reviews together. So I'm very fortunate. I've heard from many of you that say, I wish my spouse or significant other enjoyed it as much as I do. So that is part of the joy for me, that we do enjoy doing it together. Oh, lowest acid tomato I've encountered. That's a tough question. I'll get back to you on that, Rachel. All tomatoes have acid. It's kind of a myth that there's low acid tomato. But if you're looking for something with, less tang and more sweetness, you can look at things like Kellogg's Breakfast. A lot of the oranges would be good for that. But low acid, like literally low acid is a myth. There's actually all tomatoes have acid in them. But yeah, whites would be probably a smart one too, as far as less tang and more mild, if that's what you're looking for. Oh, and look at this. At least this low acid is a myth. So, since tomatoes have more sugar, that covers up the acid more. There you go. Oh, Kina, you're growing this one too? Cool beans. Waiting for germination on this one. Oh, and you grew it last season. Wonderful. Good to know. I'm 5 minutes behind, so I assume are we talking chocolate liqueur at this point? I think we still are. Chocolate Henry looks great. Yes. Not to be a Debbie Downer. No, I said the same thing. It's true. It's not Debbie Downer at all. It's just the truth. There are really no low acid, but there are some that have less tang, and that on the palate it will taste a little bit less acidic, but they really all do have acid. Hi, Martha H. What is the juiciest tomato I've grown? Oh, that's tough. I love the gel. Well, you and me both. So if you go on my Instagram account and read my reviews, if I go crazy for it, chances are it's got lots of seeds and goo, which I call it. I mean, I love Jarson 1 tricolor. I love varieties that are just like so juicy it drips down your arms and maybe makes for a really wet tomato sandwich. I like that, actually. Yeah, Suffer Well was another great one. Bacon, lettuce, and this. Captain Lucky is a great juicy one. That's a really tough one for me because I tend to gravitate towards those. Although it seems like I'm growing many this season that are more meaty but fewer seeds. We'll see how that goes. I love the seeds and goo. For me, that's where it's not where all the flavor lies, but it's such an important part of the flavor profile for me. And the mouthfeel, like you're talking about, you like that seeds and goo, you like the juice too. Oh, you're talking about Chocolate Henry. Good. Yeah, I know you're growing that one. Not growing liqueur. Okay, wasn't sure. I'm not sure if I've seen your final grow list, Kina. I mean, I know it's very similar to mine. Hi, Rachel. How many varieties are you growing? Well, that's open for debate. I would like to reduce. I think I'm at 144 right now. I've got some on the bubble that I think I may be getting rid of. But then I add more. I was hoping to get to this one today too. Am I close? Not really. All right, let's do one more. Shumatsky Shlyak is also known as Milky Way. This is bred by Alexei Kulik of Ukraine. He has a site, and I forgot what site it's from, or what the site is. It seed.ua? I forget. This is one of his. I found it on Instagram, and I'm like, must have. Oh, you know what? No, that's not true. I got it from TOMATO Awesomesauce is where I got my seeds from, but I did see it on Instagram, and I'm going to leave it at this one. Tomato Galaxy says medium early variety, unusual pink-purple color, neon green stripes throughout the fruit. Fruits weigh 100 to 180 grams. Taste is bright and rich, sweet and sour, 1.6 to 1.7 meters tall, and it's a new one from Alexei Kulik. So there you go. So we got through 20 varieties today. Hoping to get through more, but we did not. So let me just scroll one more time. Schmachka, however you pronounce it. Chocolate Liqueur, Chocolate Henry, Chocolate Delight, Chocolate Avalanche, Cherry Stripes, the Chauffeur, Captivating Heart, yummy, yummy in my tummy, the Captain Lucky and SunGold F1 Cross from Craig LaHoulier, Captain Lucky. Hope I don't bump this one. I really want this for a cross idea I have. Burnt Sugar, thank you, Kina. Yum, yum. Bliss, Blasphemous Rumors, To Die For. I don't even know what else to say. It's to die for. I mean, I haven't grown it, but the looks of it are to die for. Blackjack. Yum. Big Malaka. Deborah, I don't think I see you in the comments today, but if you're here, thank you very much for sending me these seeds a couple of months ago. Very honored to grow it. Berck TF for Tomato Fanny. This one just looks outstanding. Ben Gantz, thank you, Kina. Again, Be My Baby Gene Pool has what was it? Brandywine, SunGold. I forget what the third one is in the cross. Must grow, especially after Heidi Dolan's comments. Belle Amitie, Beautiful Friendship. This was on the bubble, but was it you, Julia, that said you grew it and it's really good? So I think it's off the bubble now. Cream of the Crop, Beefy Purple. And we talked about bananas last week, and Baltic Chocolate. So there you go. Hope you all enjoyed this. I'll try to do it right now, put the links to all of those, at least for you to look at in the show notes of this viewing on my YouTube channel. If you don't already subscribe, I would appreciate it if you do. We're inching up there, but I it does help me out, and it's fun to gather all the tomato heads, and you can see what other content I've got. And then join me for my show on Thursdays at this time, where I talk about the 10-ish varieties I'm obsessed with each week. It's called Lauren's Tomato Awesomesauce, and you can find it right here. If you hit the notification bell on YouTube, you'll be notified whenever I go live. And make sure you join our community, Tomato Lovers Collective, and swap. You won't be sorry. So thanks, everybody. Thank you for a great week. I'll be back next week with more, and then more of my grow list. It'll be part 3. I can't believe we're still in the C's. This is unreal. I think it is first of the alphabet heavy, though. I think it's more first alphabet than last. There are an awful lot of B's. But I really appreciate you all tuning in, and hope you had as much fun as I did. So peace, love, get your gratitude on, and go grow tomatoes. Bye, everybody.